Hey, how's that? Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me now? Good. The headset was on mute. There's no indicator on this headset. Sometimes I get muted. How's everybody doing this morning? Let me go over that again. Had a good distribution over yesterday's high. Now liquidation. We're still in the cost basis of yesterday. So from our market profile people, that's the value area, right? I call it the cost basis. And that's just basically where 70% of the inventory from yesterday is priced. So far, let's see if that 71.89 half low holds. Hey, yo, I'm feeling better. I still have this cold. My voice is still a bit messed up, but I think it's getting better every day, hopefully. Don't sound as much like I got cotton balls in my mouth. Still, it's still messed up, but the more I rest it, the better it is. All right. So, brain's working. I had one good trade yesterday. That worked. I only took like a couple of trades. Let's go take a look and see. What we're looking at. There's that nice distribution above yesterday's high. Pointer controller. They sold a lot of product up here at 72.18. Now liquidation all the way back down. So now what I'm looking for, I'm looking for a look below and fail of 71.87 and 3/4. So the market is liquidating. One of the hardest things I find, and I found it yesterday too, because I just started trading again yesterday, and I found that waiting for the edge, I go through the same thing that you guys do. I'm human too. I was thinking of taking a trade, waiting for the trade. I was like, oh, maybe I should just buy a few here, and then I said, wait a minute. It was right in the middle of the zone, just like kind of where we are now, right? We're kind of screwing around at 71.92, and it's very tempting to just jump in. But in this market, I think it's better to wait. Speaking of jumping in, I gotta get my trading software open here. One sec. There we go. This is the part that traders hate, and that's the waiting. But what we're really waiting for is we're waiting for the bid to be established. Once that bid is established, then we can let's put it into risk terms, right? Once the market has established the bid or established support, right? Once it has, then your risk drops. 71.87 and 3/4. Howard, are you watching my screen? It's down here. The look below and fail of this. That's what I'm looking for. This. So right now we're in the middle of the range. No problem. Right, we're in the middle of the range. if you did go long here, you'd put your stop at the bottom of that candle. But because London's going to open in 7 minutes, and London usually, and I put this in quotes, right? London usually likes to go lower and grab some cheap supply. So let's see if that happens, right? I haven't traded yet this morning, and to be quite honest with you guys, I haven't had coffee in 2 weeks. So I might be a little slower than usual. Trying to get my blood pressure down. For some reason, the old blood pressure's been really high. Despite me losing 44 pounds. Very strange. Strange stuff. So, no coffee. No coffee in the morning for 2 weeks now. Man, it's killing me. Yeah, I'm starting to... Hey, Jerry. Hey, brother. How you doing? As a penny stock trader, how do you know when the dilution has started and now is not the time to hold the bag? Oh my God. Okay, well, here's the thing. You know what? Something I'm working on. I'm going to be doing... It's something that I've avoided ever since I've been trading. I mean, in retail trading. Let me get a sense of... Let me do a little poll while we're here. Like the folks on YouTube, there's not a lot of people on tonight, this morning. How many of you guys actually trade penny stocks? All right. Because what I'm thinking of doing, I try to dissuade people from trading penny stocks, but I think I'm gonna do a session. Now, most of the people in my room don't trade them because I tell them not to, right? But I'm gonna do an information session on penny stocks. They are sketchy. They're very sketchy, right? See, the one thing about buying penny stock is you gotta buy it for a quick flip. You don't want to get married to a penny stock, right? You know, it's something that entices people because they think they can buy a lot of it, you know, and which is good for us who are selling it, right? Yeah, I mean, all I've done my whole life is I've sold stock. I've never paid for stock in my life. You know, I've always gotten free stock to work on deals. So it's something that I don't, you know, it's something that I don't advise people to do, but people do it anyway. So I might as well give you guys some tools. The thing is, they are always liquidating, right? The only reason a penny stock goes up is because the insiders cut the supply momentarily to let it breathe and suck people into buying it so they can sell it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Symphony Trades, I will definitely do that. Right. Hey, and meme coins are the new penny stocks. The only thing about meme coins is you can't really, it's a completely unregulated market, right? You know, that's the thing, and there's no disclosure. So when you buy a meme coin, they don't say, "Hey, we are being paid to tell you to buy this coin," right? See, with a penny stock at least in the old, they still have this rule. Under the Exchange Act of 1933, there's something called 17B, which is disclosure. So if I tell you to buy a penny stock, and I'm being paid to tell you to buy it, it's called touting. I have to disclose, hey, these guys paid me 150 grand a month, and they gave me 1 million free shares to tell you to buy this stock. When you're buying it, they will be selling it, and I'm selling it. So it's a very high risk investment, and it's probably going to be diluted, and you're going to lose all your money. That's called disclosure. Unfortunately, that doesn't exist in the meme coin market because crypto is completely unregulated. You know? It's difficult. So a lot of people get suckered with meme coins. Meme coins are the new penny stock. It's funny, in the old days, we used to sit around and go, wouldn't it be hilarious if there was like, you know, an exchange where there were no rules and we could do anything we wanted? And now that exists, right? Why did I select the blue zone? Because there's a little cost basis here. So I don't actually use the market profile to trade off of. It's like a map of the city. And welcome. And we use this to take trades because we're day traders and scalpers. So what it does is it shows me a cost basis. And this is 2 times discount. This is 2 times profit. If you look through my channel, I've done a ton of videos on this. So what we do is we use this to give us sort of like a map of the city. And if we want to trade this area, we go in and we look at the map of the neighborhood. If you have any questions, just DM me anytime. Well, you got to remember, when you're buying a penny stock, right? When you're buying a penny stock, the people who are selling it to you, like for instance, if you're buying a stock at 10 cents, the people who actually are selling it to you or distributing it, they paid, probably 0.001 or 0.0001 cent for the stock. So they got it for almost, you usually buy like, 1 million shares for 5 grand, right? Because they finance the company, right? Or they loan the company money and they get stock. And anytime you loan a company money, you get stock at a discount. Usually a 30% discount to 14-day VWAP. So you're always getting stock at a cheaper price than everybody else. So if I own stock at 1/100th of a penny or 1/10th of a penny and you're buying it at 10 cents, I can sell it at 10 cents, 5 cents, 3 cents. I can even sell it under a penny and still make money. And we can always issue ourselves more when we run out, right? Write another convertible. That's why I like trading ES, because there's no dilution. There's like, see it, 71.93 half here. There's nobody who owns ES at 0. Level 2 is a huge, huge, huge scam. I've been manipulating level 2s for 30 years. So what you guys don't realize is when you look at a level 2, every market maker is controlled by the insiders. What you guys think you see is not at all what's actually really going on. Use the chart, use the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart to tell you what's going on, where the selling is. Like, see here. It's the same principle. Mark where the sellers are. So if you're going to go along, say you were along at 92, there's going to be a seller up here at 95. And in fact, they've now moved down to 94 half. And now they're at 94. Order book is level 2. Same thing as a DOM. And those are meant to be manipulated. to paint a picture where you guys think you see something and you think you figured it out, but we got you. We got you. It's completely rigged. Yeah, it's actually not worth you trying to figure it out. If you look at this 1 minute chart on the left-hand side, it's the actual transactions. So let me tell you something. If I'm a big buyer, right? If I need to buy a big position, I'll show that there's a lot of selling pressure in the stock. I'll put a huge offer out. You guys will all get scared and puke it out, and I'll buy it cheaper. If I'm a seller, I'll show really, really large bids. You guys will think there's big buyers going to run it, going to buy it, and I'll slam every bid, right? Nothing is what you think it is, because no size trader will ever show you their hand. They'll never show you what their business is, because that's their advantage, right? So if you have an edge, there's no reason to show it. Let's see if that overnight low holds. The move right now, we're in a liquidation, right? So you can see the seller was here, here, here. What you're waiting for is stability and then a move back up, or a move underneath 87 3/4. Right now we're in the middle of the zone. Kind of hard to figure out a trade here. So we got to wait, be patient, let the large traders, think of the large traders as snow plows, right? Big snowfall, let the snow plows clear the road before you get on the road. And that's why people tell you to be patient. They don't tell you why you need to be patient. And that's something that we teach in our trading room. We teach you why you need to be patient. And the reason you need to be patient is for the market to find the bid or show you that there's a seller. Either way, you just want to chill, right? There's no trade right here. It's choppy. The candles are small, right? We're trying to figure out the low. What we'd like to happen is this overnight point of control, which is around 1,161 contracts. We'd like to drop that down here, and then you'll see good accumulation. This is an area of supply on market profile. If we run out of supply, we'll go up to 95 3/4. But you know there's going to be a seller there, right? You've marked where the sellers are. The sellers always initiate and compete from the top of the candle down, right? So the back end and the front end of the move. So here's the front end of the down move into consolidation, into more selling. So you can see front end of the move, back end of the move, front end of the move, back end of the move on the way up. On the way down, on liquidation, that's why I like these zones, because they tell me where I should be doing business. Now, what if we don't take out 87 3/4? Right? What if we can't get any lower? Then I'll look for the market to do a kind of this, and then look for a look below and fail of 96 1/4. But right now it's not really clear, right? I can see they're running out of supply. We went into these single prints. We grabbed some. There's that seller at 95. Look where we hit it to the tick, right? Boom. And the seller steps in. Now let's see where they stop selling or whether they can lift the offer back over 95, right? A couple of videos I'll be doing in our room this week. My voice holds up. I'm doing a video on how to tell when markets are thin and how you should trade them. And I've been working on this penny stock video. I'm also doing a course on investing. And I was going to roll it out this month, but I got sick for the last 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks. It's been horrible. And it's delayed everything I've been doing. So I'll get that rolled out in the next little while. And it's like just practical investing, you know, how to wade through all the crap, you know, and figure out how to invest. See the chop back and forth? What's the difference between level 2 order flow and the chart on the right side? Great question. Beautiful. Great question. A level 2 is an order book, okay? Which means, here I'll show you. I'm going to show you a screenshot of one of my old deals. Okay, and it's just an old level 2. Give me a second, let me find one. You guys don't mind? Sorry, the people in the rooms have seen this. You see this is the order book, right? Every single one of these bids and offers is me, right? So I'm painting a picture here to make you guys come in and buy. Get what I mean? These are unexecuted orders. The time and sales show actual transactions. The time and sales are represented on the 1-minute chart. So this is actually transacted business. This is untransacted business. Do you understand? So if I want you guys to buy, I'll show a lot of buy orders and I'll start pulling these offers up, right? But what you guys don't realize that every one of these market makers is me. See, time and sales is just this. In the old days, we used to just trade off time and sales, right? We used to just trade off that. But what time and sales is, It's taking this and it's putting this into a format that you can observe. So instead of sitting there and watching the ask, you can watch the ask move up and down here. So a 1 minute chart, or is just the time and sales in a graphic format that you can observe. Just makes it easier on your eye and less stressful. Get it? So level 2 paints a picture. The time and sales and the actual chart is transacted volume. Those are actual transactions. That's the big difference. Does that make sense, Foy? And David, just DM me anytime and I'll help you with the investing course. As soon as my voice gets a bit better, I'll be putting it out. And it'll be practical. It'll be practical investing. And it's how to look at a company from the perspective of someone who's actually taken 200 companies public. Yeah, when the offer lifts, that means they've seen buyers and they're raising price. When the offer moves down like it's doing now, it means sellers are competing. And when sellers compete, they lower price, right, to undercut each other. No problem. No problem. There's a lot of people out there who will try and, like, I've had companies come to me and say, hey, I want you to endorse our software. We'll give you a cut. And it's order flow software. And I'm like, well, can you explain how it works? And the guy will explain it to me. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't even know how trading works. How can you sell this product to people, right? Oh, when the offer is going up and down every second, that means there's no clear path. It means that the market's slow, right? So when you see small candles like here, you see how this is here? Check this out. You won't believe how much information a candle chart will tell you. It'll blow you away. This tells you business is slow. This tells you the range of the candles, the chop. The bigger the range, the more business is coming in, right? So when it's going up and down in a tight range, right, and it's really choppy, that means you should stay away. See, the thing in retail trading is, and this is what we'll teach you in the room, we got a 3-day thing going on now. Come into our room for 3 days. Check it out for free, right? I'm in there every day. Check it out for free. And, if you decide to stay, it's only $19 US. I think we are the cheapest room out there. And I guarantee you, I promise you, that a month with me, you will learn more than a year anywhere else. Easily. And it will teach you information you can actually use to make money. We're not going to waste your time with all bunch of complicated, nonsense. We're not going to talk about stupid, crazy things and get you to buy software and look at, DOMs and, delta, no indicators, just simple common sense business. Markets have been around for thousands of years, long before all this software. There's a new member start here, and just DM me. TPO chart is basically a fancy half-hour chart. Well, right now we've got a slow market. In a fast market, you get a lot of customers coming in. Like, order flow just means customer flow. Order flow is just a fancy way of saying customer flow. So when the market's chopping back and forth like that, it's a bit slow. When it's chopping back and forth in a small range, it's very slow. What we're doing here is we're waiting for the shorts. The shorts are covering. Wholesale builds a position on top of the shorts. And then we start to buy. And if enough people short under 95, when they run out of supply, the market will move back up. If that doesn't happen, we'll go and test that overnight low again. Right? TPO charts are available on Sierra, right? Yeah, just watch the offer. Don't worry about the bid. The offer is what sets the price. The wholesalers, the large traders who are trading 5,000, 2,000, 10,000 ES contracts, they will tell you if buying is coming in because they'll start raising price. I've been on the offer my whole life. I've been a liquidator. The offer sets the price according to the flow of customers coming in. So if there's not a lot of customers coming in, competing sellers will lower and try and grab the customers. It's called capturing the buying, right? See how we went up to 95 and they started to sell again? Now if the offer lifts and stays over 95, we'll go up to 96 and a quarter. But do you see how it's going back and forth and back and forth? So they're competing. Don't worry about the bid. How would the POC stop at 18? We're waiting for that POC to drop down. Give it some time. Have a coffee. Chill out. TPO charts are not necessary. They're just how I learned how to trade off a TPO. And they worked great, and I used to trade off of them until about 2016. 2016, 2017, the ranges started getting bigger. And it was really hard to trade off of TPO. I still do use them to get information about where the inventory is, where the people are trapped short, where they're trapped long. Right? But you don't have to have a TPO chart. Sierra Charts offers them, and NinjaTrader does as well. But basically all it is a fancy half-hour candle chart. So you can take them and you can split the candle and you can see exactly what's going on inside each candle. So there's a half hour, right? And you can see where the volume is being concentrated in that candle. It's like opening up a candle chart. Don't worry, the buyers are the suckers. The offer is the smart money. The bid is the sucker. Remember that. Price moves when a lot of people come in, you'll see the offer lift. Trust me on this. I've been the offer for 34 years, and I've sold billions of dollars of stock into U.S. capital markets. Right, I've done 200 IPOs. And I've sold more stock than McDonald's has made hamburgers. So just watch the offer. Trust me on it. The bid is the sucker. The bid will follow the offer. Like an obedient dog. Right? You'll see when the offer starts moving lower, it means the sellers will start competing. The spread does widen. Right? As supply runs out, you'll see the offer lift and the spread will get bigger. But that's more easy to see in stock, Raj. It's hard to watch for that in ES. Who says I'm not? Why do you think we charge $19 for the room, Jeff? If that's your name. You can use a 5-minute chart. I teach people how to use the 1 minute so they can make quick decisions. Because most of you guys freeze when you get into a bad trade, right? So for those of you who are just joining me, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. The reason why I do this, why I do these YouTubes, right? I've been doing this for 34 years. I've traded for some of the most evil scumbags on this earth. I've traded for people who would gut you like a fish and laugh about it. Okay? Some of my clients that I've had and I've done business with are actually some of the most evil motherfuckers you'll ever meet in your life. Right? They'd sell you for 2 cents and not even think about it, Jeff. In 2012, my business partner stole from our group about $17 million. He was like my brother. I would have taken a bullet for this guy. He stole a bunch of money from us when we started making big money. He stole it and then went on to steal even more. He also got us into trouble with the SEC. The stress was massive. My ex-wife went nuts because she was used to spending, 60, 100 grand a month. That disappeared. I got very sick. I had a heart attack. I had a massive heart attack, and I actually died. I died for 4 minutes. Then I had a quintuple bypass. So I had to do something a little less stressful, right? So I decided to try retail trading, and guess what? I was sucked at it. I was horrible, right? I couldn't trade my way out of a wet paper bag because you go from being a manipulator where you control all the supply, where you have billions of shares to sell into a market, to having to make a couple of $100 trading a mini, right? That's okay. I had a lot of good times in this business. You got to take the good with the bad, right? And a couple of years later, one of my best market makers, this guy, I swear this guy could trade circles around you guys. You wouldn't even know what's happening. One of the best traders I've ever known. He was evil to everybody. For some reason, he liked me and he always looked after me. He looked after me after my heart attack. One Christmas day, he hung himself. He killed himself. And, and he made $11 million that year and he killed himself. All of these things kind of piled up on me. And I thought, you know what? Maybe it's time I try and give something back. So I started teaching. Even though I didn't really know how to retail trade, I started fumbling my way through it, right? And over the years, I looked at these guys and they're charging people thousands. There was a place they were charging people 30 grand to teach them how to trade. No, man, you know what? It makes life easier. But I still remember one day I was living in a house and it was 8,000 square feet. And I had 6 million in cash in just one account. I had millions all over the place. And my wife hated my guts. And she said, "Oh, this house is perfect because I don't even have to know you're in it." And, I was sitting there looking at this multi-million-dollar view. And I never talked to my friends. I'm used to laughing and having a good time. And I was like, you know what? When I was 22 years old or 21 years old, I had $20 in my pocket. I was happier. I was having a good time. We were laughing our ass off, just enjoying life. Here I've got millions, and I'm all by myself in this big ass house with somebody who hates my guts. And it was, it happens, right? So I started posting trades on Twitter because I was too cheap to buy one of those online trading journals. So I started just putting, my thoughts on Twitter. I'd never used it before. And our business partner, Steve, came up, started talking to me. And then we started the podcast, Confessions of a Market Maker. And then we grew it into a trading room. So what I really want to do now, because I had never met retail traders before, right? I had never met retail traders. See, my clients, they never said, should I buy Microsoft? Should I buy Apple? They'd go, JJ, there's 50 million shares in the account. At the end of the month, there should be none, right? So let's go test this overnight low. I had never spoken to a retail trader. Once I started speaking to people who traded retail, and I started hearing their stories of how much money they lost, and how they mortgaged their house to keep trading, and how they lost all their money, and then they get divorced and they get sick. I was like, Jesus Christ, I gotta do something, right? Something inside me said, let's see if I can teach these people at least how not to lose their money, and then show them how to make money. So I've been trying my hardest to take practical knowledge and disseminate it to retail traders so they can have a bit of a shot. Because you guys are totally outgunned, right? I mean, you're going into a war zone. We have, planes and bombs and things like that. You guys are out there with a plastic spoon. You guys don't even have a plastic knife. So how do you make money in a practical way without having to hold trades overnight, without adding to bad positions, without getting stressed out, without having your hair fall in the sink, right? Without getting ulcers. So that's why I came up with this method of day trading, where you know when to trade, you know when to leave it alone. You have one or two what I call ride or die trades, right? A normal trader can make millions, but that's not really the point. That's not why I'm here. I teach people how to make a couple of hundred bucks a day. Because most retail traders lose money, right? 95% of retail traders lose money. If I can teach you guys how to make even $200 a day, that's $4,000 a month in extra income. How many of you are making 4, 5, 10 grand a month in extra income? You're not. So what I do is I teach you how to trade using the micro and then size up to the mini. I teach you how to run a business like a business person, right? It is possible to make millions. You see people all the time. Some of them are real, some of them are fake. But what you should strive for is consistency and income. Over time, as you gain skill, you can size up. But it takes time and it takes a lot of dedication. Retail trading is the hardest job in finance. You still have a whoop? I don't know what a whoop is. Anyway, folks, if you want to learn how to do this in a practical way, come check us out for 3 days for free. You got nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, you pay $19, and I promise you will. Yeah, the mentoring course, what I do is I work with people. My mentoring course is lifetime one-on-one mentoring, right? So when I take money from someone, I work with them for life, and we work together every day, right? So that's the way I mentor. I don't sell you a course and leave you alone. Like if you work with me, you work with me for life. We talk every day. You got my phone number. And that's my mentoring. It's very different than most people. So Thank you very much, everyone. Stay out of trouble. Have a good day. We'll see you at, I'm going to be starting the next session at about 15 minutes to the open. Thanks for your patience with this bad voice. I've had this infection for 3 weeks. I sound like I got cotton balls in my mouth. So I appreciate you guys. Let's see if the point of control moves down. And if you're building a long position, I'd wait till the point of control moves down. And then inventory will be short. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Stay out of trouble. And don't take candy from strange market makers. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.